I had a third grader, Natalie is her name. She contacted me last year, and she is now a teacher here in our system. And she says, "You probably don't remember me," but of course I do remember her. And I had the opportunity to visit her school in Japan last year, or earlier this year, and it was so special to see somebody that you know as a student and now is actually teaching for us. So I always liked to travel, and we did family travels, as I was growing up, and so I graduated from Indiana University in Bloomington, Indiana, and had a job offer in Indianapolis or Australia. So I went to Australia, and it was a wonderful experience. Then I wanted to come back to Indiana to get my master's degree. So I stayed there for 4 years, came back, met a person, a third grade teacher, her name was Ann Binder, and she said, "Well, why don't you apply for DoDEA?" And I said, "DoDEA? What's DoDEA?" So I applied, and within 6 months I had a job. Started in Baumholder, Germany at Smith Elementary School back in 1986. I was at Baumholder for 3 years before I was promoted into an assistant principal. So after I was an assistant principal, I was promoted at Spangdahlem Elementary School as an acting principal because the former principal had been promoted. So I finished out that year, and then I got a real principalship job at Shape Elementary School. And by far, Shape was my favorite job that I've had in my whole career. It was a group of teachers that were so willing to try new things, and they really cared about kids, and they put students first. DoDEA is a system that cares about students, and I think that's why we do so well, because we do care about students. My highlight is always going out into the classrooms and talking to the kids and working out a problem with them, or watching them do something, or having them tell me a story or what they've written. I think that's the most important part. So that's the hardest part about being in administration at this level. You don't get into the classrooms as much as I would like to. It's been wonderful to have this experience of being a teacher in the system and then getting up to my position of being, the second in command, because I've worked through a lot of the positions, and I've been in there, I've walked their walk, and that I can relate to the folks that I'm working with. I had a 6th grade teacher that was actually I went in for an observation, and she was teaching a lesson on math, and she was trying to use manipulatives on the overhead projector. And she was struggling because it was about fractions, and she just didn't understand the process, and she was getting very frustrated. And I just walked up and kind of whispered in her ear and said, "Look, we're not going to count this as an observation." I said, "I'll come back another time." But I said, "Would you like some help?" And she kind of looked at me and she said, "Well, sure." And so I took over the lesson, and I helped the students have a better understanding. Plus, I was teaching her. And afterwards she said, "Wow, you can really teach." And I said, "Yes, I was a teacher, and I'm still a teacher." And she said, "Well, would you come in a couple times a week and for the next few weeks and help me out?" I said, "Of course I will." I think that's the most important thing that we as leaders have to do, is we need to mentor our teachers and the people that we work with, if it's not teachers, or whoever we're working with. We have to help everybody reach their potential. And I think the new 21st century with the open concept, where teachers are working more collaboratively together, I think that gives them an opportunity to ask more questions and to really learn their craft well and to learn from others. We're becoming more one DoDEA, and I think that's important that we do that and really live that one DoDEA, so that our students, when they transition, or when our teachers transition, that it's so much easier for them, because they will be familiar with the standards and the curriculum that we have. And I think that saves us instructional time, because you're not creating time to to learn something new, you already know it, and then you're building on that foundation and making it better. We have to ensure that we keep the people in mind. And when I say the people, I don't mean just the teachers, I mean the students, the administrators, the secretaries, facility people, all of those people. You know, it's people first. We've got to take care of our people in order to make this organization great.